Hi everyone. Haven't recorded a video in a very long time, and I just decided I wanted to because uh, I often see the YouTube community and think to myself, actually I come up with a lot of responses in my mind, but I never actually share it. I mean, other than perhaps a year ago that you probably saw, or maybe even 8 months ago, I don't exactly recall. Maybe 12, I think it was 10 months ago. But anyway, the videos that you saw, they were kind of responses to different things I've been thinking about that center around YouTube. But this one kind of does the same thing. But instead, I want to say that first of all, I want to say that there's actually a lot more than YouTube out there. So, like for example, you see me right now, right? You might even expect to see that I want to focus and focus on one thing, or maybe just a few things, or basically focus on whatever, on something, on a few things that you want to get your mind wrapped around based on just seeing that one video. So I mean, I'm actually here doing this video for the sake of telling you telling you more than just that. So this video doesn't have any focus. I mean, oftentimes you see that, like for example, I mean, a lot of the times you'll see people tell you that their video has no focus or has no intent to be worked a lot hard on. I didn't mean that in a disgusting way, by the way. Anyway, yeah. So just to tell you that. I mean, I just feel like saying that. But I wanted to move on to something. Well, I kind of wanted to just tell you general things, like for example, that yeah, there's a lot of more than YouTube out there. So for example, and it also depends on like what your goal is. So I want to be a civil engineer, which means I have to do a lot of, I have to put in a lot of work for school, and that's what I have been doing. And so a lot of the things I might even tell you about the things I'm studying, I mean, obviously the general audience will find practically insane, just because they don't intend on watching any videos that have to do with those concepts. For example, I'm studying what I studied in the spring semester for a physics class was it the idea of, there basically all of Maxwell's theory of electromagnetic waves. So I mean that's how the course ended, but everything kind of led up to that point. And so I think that was pretty interesting because we were able to apply a lot of mathematics that we learned from Math 3, or multivariable calculus, and that was things like Green's theorem and Stokes' theorem, and so a lot of these ideas, everybody would, I mean, just an average person that I would talk to about would kind of not would kind of see it as something technical, and to the point where it may just be there may be too many details to understand. And in fact, it's actually quite on the contrary. It's actually you can actually get details out of it, but because they're theories. So I think some people don't really understand that there's a great difference between a theory and a bunch of details. Because theories, if someone can focus on theories, they can derive details, and they can understand, and they can start to see more implications. So it's theories are meant to be abstract. So an abstract is just the greatest method for handling complexity. Being abstract is the greatest method for handling complexity, because it defers the details as much as possible, or any kind of detail. But yeah, so I think that all these things that we learned were pretty interesting. It's just like some people don't really. It's really hard to discuss with an average person. So oftentimes you have to be extremely, like, it's really stimulating internally. So, but it's okay because a lot of times you're interacting with I mean, I'm actually interacting with kind of like myself. So it never seems to be that I'm completely isolated from somebody. So in other words, like I don't have to depend. If I'm learning something like that, I don't have to be dependent on anything. So I think that's another thing about learning complex ideas, and nobody has to be really too smart if they want to learn, or they don't have to be familiar with a whole lot of things if they want to learn theories. Like you can be, I could have been 6 years old and tried to take on all the ideas that I'm trying to learn now. So, but I'd say that it is only there for you to it kind of it reinforces your desire to be an autonomous person. So that doesn't mean that it dehumanizes anybody. It just makes you want to um, take care of your own. I mean, take care of yourself much more. Um, but let's see, or it makes you want to, actually in what's happened to me is it's actually made me not want to take orders. I mean, trying to learn by myself, and I mean, so whereas a year ago I was blindly taking orders just because I wanted to, just because I thought that was the only lifestyle I could live. Right now, I try to kind of be my own leader, so to speak. So, which is just being autonomous. Like I try to, so that means that I'm no longer working for a job that requires them to look after me at all times. I'm actually a math tutor at this point, but I don't have to do any of that. So I really enjoy the, I really enjoy learning about concepts that I kind of have to, for the most part, have to discuss on my own, because it actually reinforces a lifestyle that I much rather prefer. So I think it's really cool. Some people I've noticed when they live in this lifestyle, it makes them kind of depressed. So it may make them seem like there's no purpose in living this lifestyle, but there's a lot of purpose if you are continuously trying to understand things, anything that you might want, you might want to. Also, there's a lot of purpose in it when it comes to trying to develop more skill and think more about the future and possibility, and much more about possibilities. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm just discussing this because I know that I haven't been on YouTube in a long time, and it's interesting that even though I see so many people and what was it, that even if I come up with my own response, my own personal response for a video, that I don't really actually do a video response, and that's just because of the lifestyle I choose to do, and the fact that there's so much more to YouTube. So yeah, but this time I kind of wanted to do so because because I've been thinking a lot about the YouTube videos. It's almost, well, I mean, it's summer right now. I'm taking one class. It's a first level college English class. But I've been thinking a lot about what people have said, such as Karch 101, different things, or maybe I'm just concerned with how people view me on YouTube. I hope not, because I really don't care for the most part, but it seems to be that way. I don't know why. I would say, and so now, I guess I'll just proceed to saying this. Well, I would say the only way I probably would start doing consistent YouTube videos is if I find out that I'm actually adequate at probably explaining theories. So, for example, if someone after they get done watching this finds that I'm pretty good at explaining something, and they actually, I would say I don't know, maybe, I don't know what I don't know. I don't actually think there's any way I'm gonna start recording videos. Anyway, see ya. Thanks.